Hi everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome, and if you're not new, hi again. This is my channel. I love to make Dollar Tree DIYs. I also love to do thrift flips, and I also love to make wreaths. I love doing all this on my channel, so if you like what you see, then I would love for you to hit that red subscribe button. I also would love for you to give me a thumbs up and leave some comments because I love to hear what you guys think. You can also find me on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. And recently I opened up my own wreath shop. It's called Krista's Wreath Designs on Etsy. And I will have the link down below so you could check it out if you're interested in buying a wreath. So my first DIY, really all these DIYs are about Christmas. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking 3 of these Dollar Tree long signs. I'm sure you've seen them. And I'm taking 2 of these little plaques. They're the long ones. And they had these out like at the beginning of Christmas. And then I'm also going to be using this window clings that I got at the Dollar General, and also some chalk couture. This is a buffalo check stencil I'm going to be using, some black ink chalk paint by Waverly, and some chalk paint to go through that stencil. And what we're going to do first is I took the hangers off of these signs, I turned them over, and I am going to be using the jumbo size popsicle sticks. I get mine at Walmart. They're very cheap. And I'm also going to be using my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to be gluing these all together. So I try to put them as close together as possible, and then I'm just pushing down on the glue, the popsicle sticks, to hold these signs together. And this works out really, really well. I do this quite a bit with my signs and using the popsicle sticks, and they stay together really well. Now I use Gorilla glue sticks, so that also helps because they're very strong glue sticks. So now when I turned it over, there is some glitter on these signs, so I decided to use my sponge, sandpaper, and I sanded all that glitter off. And now I'm going to go in with my ink chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm just going to color this whole thing with some black paint. And once we get all that covered, I'm kind of going for the buffalo check with the black and red, because my whole kitchen is that type of decor. So that's what we're going for. So I did have to put a couple coats on this. And when that was all done, then I went in, and with these 2 little plaques that I got, I'm going to go in with my crimson by Waverly. And it's just a red. And I really love this red. It is so perfect for Christmas time. So that is what I used to color those, and I put a couple coats on those. And then I also had these 2 handles that you just saw that I'm going to be using as well. I got those a long time ago on the clearance rack at Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to take these little beads that were in a pack from the Dollar Tree. They're like little gems, and I'm going to cover them with my antique wax by Waverly because I want to make them look rustic. And then once those dried, my little red plaques, I'm going to take my stencil from Chalk Couture, and what I'm doing is I am fuzzing it on my little fuzz mat. And what it does is it gets a lot of the sticky off of it, so it doesn't stick so much when you put it down on your surface. And then I'm going to try and line it up the best I can. And I'm going to use, once I get that down, I'm just going to, see, I kept messing around with it because I wanted to get it just right. And then once I got it down, I went in with some black chalk paint, and I'm using my little squeegee, and I'm just running that through my stencil. Really simple to do, and I absolutely love this stencil. I love using Chalk Couture. This is so much fun, you guys. And I will have a link down below to my Chalk Couture store as well if you're interested in buying any Chalk Couture products, or if you'd like to also become a designer like me, you could do that too. And they send you a huge kit and everything. It's really cool. So I will have that link down below as well. But I definitely suggest you try these out because this was so much fun to play with, and I absolutely love it. Look at that. Awesome, awesome. So now the problem was trying to line them up the right way to get the next section on. So the first one, I kind of messed up a little bit, but that's okay because I'm just learning. And I didn't mind it because the handle went over it. So you could just tell it's a little off. I didn't get it lined up like perfectly. So you do, when you do something like this, lining it up, you just gotta like really be careful, I guess. But it didn't bother me. It's going on my stove. It's not like I'm selling it or anything, so I don't mind it. And I think imperfections make it even more homemade. So that's what I like. So there, see, it's kind of off-centered, but that's okay. I think it turned out good. So then I did the other one. I did the same thing. And now I'm going to take some of my Gorilla Glue, my wood glue. And just to make it extra secure, I'm using that and my glue, my hot glue gun. So I used 2 different kinds of glue to make sure that these are going to stay on. So what I did is I just did little dabs on each one. And now I'm going to kind of put it on the edge of my little signs here that I put together. And there you go. And these are going to be the 2 ends of our, you could call these a stove noodle, I think they're called. But I just call it a stove cover. So I also have one that's a lemon decor because that's what I have in my kitchen in the spring and summer. So I decided to do one for Christmas. And this was super fun to make and so easy. So now once those are down, now I'm going to work on putting on my window clings. So what I'm using is my Mod Podge. And I decided to use Mod Podge because I think that was the best thing to make the window clings stick and stay on. And then I wanted to go over them also. And I also wanted to do like a whole coat over the black because I didn't want it to like chip, the paint to chip or anything. So the best bet is using your Mod Podge. So now I'm going to put the truck down first because that's kind of like the focal point of this piece that I'm doing. And once I get that down, then I'm going to start sticking down all the other stuff and just kind of like making my own little scene. And sorry, excuse me. I'm just getting over having pneumonia, guys. Yes, I had pneumonia. It's terrible. So if my voice starts to crack or if I cough in between, I apologize. I'm just getting over it. So I'm still having a little bit of problems, but I'm getting better. So that's the good thing. So then I went over it with the Mod Podge, like you just saw, with my little sponge tool that I got from Dollar Tree as well. And now I'm going to put this sign up top that says, I believe it says Merry Christmas. And then I go in with all the other little pieces. So it's kind of like you're decorating your own window, only you're decorating your own, oh no, it says Christmas trees. That's what it says. And I'm going to put that part on top. Now, the only thing I did though is I used the one piece that says Merry Christmas and it's in black lettering, and I should have never used it because you can't even see it. But I didn't take it off. I just left it on. It's in my house. So, oh, it says fresh cut. That's what it was. And see how you could see it because of the Mod Podge? I wasn't thinking. And then I was like, oh my God, when this dries, it's going to dry clear and you're not going to be able to see it because it's black. So that's okay though. You can't see it, so it's no big deal, right? So then it has this little sign that says, has the name of all the trees. So I stuck that there. And then I stuck down the little Christmas trees. And then I also stuck down, you're going to see in a second, I'm going to stick down the what do you call them? Snowflakes, sorry. And those will be going on next. And this turned out super cute, you guys. And it's really easy. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun to make. It looks great on my stove. You'll see a picture of it in the end. But it turned out super cute. And there's the snowflakes. And now I'm going to stick those down with my Mod Podge. And I think that's it. And then we put on the little handles. Now those handles, like I said, you can purchase them at Hobby Lobby. I didn't purchase them full price because they're expensive. but I purchased them. These ones were happened to be on clearance, like in the spring or summertime, I think. So I pick them up when I see them because I know that I'll use them on something, some project that I'm doing. So I always pick some up. Or I'll like look at some maybe when they're 50% off, and I'll pick them up then as well. So, but they do discount them a lot. But if not, you could always pick up any type of handles, like from any hardware store or craft store or, you know, home decor store or whatever. So what I did is I glued those down. Now, I wanted to make sure that these were even. So thought I was going to eyeball it, and then I'm like, oh, I better not. So I took out my ruler like a good girl, and I used my ruler. And I made them even, so it was perfect. And then because of those little holes, remember the little gems that I colored in the beginning with the antique wax? We're going to use those to put on, and they're going to look like the nails that went in. So you don't see the little holes on the little handles. And that's it, you guys. So easy, right? And it came out so good. So now on to DIY number 2. You guys will have to let me know in the comments if you like that one. So this one's a big one. So I took 25 of these boxes from the Dollar Tree, and I kept collecting them until I got 25. So I've been collecting them for a while. And because it's hard to find 25 of them at one time. Now, you really got to be careful with these because I'm turning them around and I'm facing like the flowers, the butterflies, everything towards the inside of them. I'm using them like a drawer. And I'm going to make an advent calendar. But I'm going to make it look like a Christmas tree with these boxes. So I had this this paper, scrapbook paper that I found in one of my scrapbooks that I bought at Michael's. And it had all of the numbers in these little squares to make an advent calendar. So I was like, this is perfect. So I took 4 of them and I turned the box inside out. Now, I'm using antique wax, number 1, to paint the bottom. These 4 are going to be the trunk of my tree. And you got to be careful. You got to make sure you keep the boxes with the ones that they go with, because otherwise you're going to be there forever trying to fit these boxes back in, because they're all different. They are all completely different. So don't do that. Take it from me. Learn from what I did wrong. So I kept them together like a good girl because I heard somebody else say this. And yeah, and it worked out. So make sure you do that. And then what I did is once I brushed on the antique wax, of course, I just rubbed it off with a paper towel. And there you go. So these 4 are going to be the trunk. And what I did is I did all the outside and the bottom of my outside drawer. And then on the inside, I did the inside as well. Because when you open the drawer, you're going to see it. So, and then I took 4 of these little square blocks. You get 36 of them in a pack from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to use these as my little handles on my drawers. So I did those in antique wax as well. And now we're going to do the green. Now, I used folk art. I used, I think it was called holly leaf green. And that's what I used for all of my boxes for my tree. And what I did is I did the same thing. I painted all around the outside of the boxes and then also on the inside. And that's what they look like when they're all painted. And then what I did is now I'm going to start like putting them together. So I got my trunks perfectly. Now they're also going to be, some are going to be a little bit off when you put them together. So I tried to put them together the best I could. So now on the outside of the drawers, I wanted to put my little squares that have my numbers. It's my scrapbook paper. So what I did is I took some Mod Podge, put it on the front, and then I stuck them down that way. Now you can use glue sticks, whatever you want to do, but I just found the Mod Podge was perfect because they stay on better that way. At least I think so anyway. And I did go over the top of them with the Mod Podge as well. And I don't show you every single one because it did take me a while. This was time consuming. I'm not going to lie. It did take me a while, but just put on some music. I put on Christmas music, and I just sat there and listened to Christmas music, and this was kind of like really good therapy. So then what I did is I took the little blocks that we painted earlier, and I'm going to stick those on, and all I did was use some hot glue, and that's what pulls the drawers open. Really simple. And then you see over there in the upper left-hand corner, I did the green ones. I made the green for the green Christmas tree ones for those drawers. And yeah, so the most time that it took was the painting, because it does take a while. And but this, it was so worth it because it came out so beautiful. And I have it in my living room. And the kids, I put little treats in there, and every day they open them up, and they, they get a little treat. And on the very top, though, it says Merry Christmas, and that's the 25th day because it's Christmas. And when they open that one, there's going to be baby Jesus. So I love to do it that way because it is all about Jesus in our house. And then they know the reason for the season, right? So then what I did is I took some wood glue, which I'm using Gorilla wood glue, and also my hot glue to glue everything together because this is going to be a big piece. I want to make sure it's taped together. I'm going to have kids opening up the drawers. So I really wanted to make sure that this was going to be a sturdy piece. So I took the two and I glued those together first. And then now I'm going to take these two and glue them on top of each other. And that's it. And then we're going to go in with the Christmas tree one. Now the Christmas tree one, you see I have them stacked already, but you can't really see them that good on camera because my camera isn't set up for the angle. So what I did is I tried to show you this way where I brought them down and then you could see. So I did 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. That's how I did it. And it worked out perfect. So I put the 6 together first that you see here, which is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I just glued those all together. And then I went on to the next ones, and then I glued those together. And then once I got all my rows together, then I stacked them on top of each other the way they should be to look like a Christmas tree. So I don't think I show you each one. I'm not sure. Sorry, guys. But I just wanted you guys to see kind of what I was doing and then see what I did. So now I'm going to glue the trunk of the tree part onto the 6. And I'm just gluing it right in the center of those 6. And I just push down and make sure, and I let it set for a little bit and see how I'm showing you. And then I went on to the next ones. So now, I am going to move that out of the way in a minute because I realized you guys couldn't see. So I'm so sorry about the angle. But this was really big, and this was the only way I could do it. So I'm sorry. And then what I do is I'm just going to flip it over on top and center it on top of the next one. And I kept going till I got to the 1 at the top of the tree. And see, next will be the 4. And I glued those on next. Super simple. See? And once you paint all these and you get all the, numbers on and everything, it's super fast because then you're just gluing everything together. So, but I really love the way this turned out. And this is a piece that I can have every year, which I love that part too. So this is something you can bring out every year. I mean, even if you have grandkids that come over or, you could have them, do one each day, or when they come, do a couple days or whatever, but I just think it's really cute idea. And then this is the last one, and this one says Merry Christmas at the top. And there it is, you guys. Look at that. It's so pretty. So that's it, you guys. And then I put a star at the top. So you could do whatever you want. And I hope you guys like it. And like I said, if you're new to my channel, I'd love for you to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button. And I want to thank you guys for watching. And remember, stay crafty. Bye.